I know some of you guys, some of you are pretty new, right? You guys might be a little bit newer, just getting it going, trying to make some sales, or happy. I remember when I first started, I was happy when I sold a Fisherman solution. You know, when I did my first sale, I was like, sweet, I made a sale. I called my manager, I was like, I made a sale. He's like, awesome, what'd you sell? It's like, Fisherman solution, it's my favorite thing ever, right? I don't even fish, but I remember being there like, Miss Jones, honestly, I would love it as a gift, and I don't even fish. I just think they're so cool. You know, and some of you guys might be around for a little while. You've sold a couple homemakers, a couple sets. Some of you might have sold, you know, a couple $1,000s. Some of you, you know, a couple tens of thousands of dollars. But no matter who you are, where you're at right now, if you take the stuff I'm about to teach you and you apply it, you should have an average order that's at least $500 or more. Let's say it one more time. You just take what I'm about to teach you and you apply it. What kind of average orders do you have or more?
$500.
Who here be excited about making whatever your commission level is right now times $500 on every appointment you do? If that was like an hourly fee. All right, cool. So everyone here thinks it's probably worth writing down? Yeah. All right, awesome. Now some of you might be even better for it. What I'm going to teach you are some things that I learned from someone this week who was observing someone who had a $45,000 week last week. Say it one more time. Somebody sold $45,000 just last week. And so I'm going to teach you, a lot of it comes from the guy that was watching him all week because he moved just to watch what this guy's doing. You follow what I'm saying? So it's going to be the goods. You guys ready? Mm-hmm. All right. There are 5 major keys to putting your average order on steroids. 5. The first step is to reframe. Just to give you guys an example, who can give me an example of just a small order? When I say what's a small order, what comes to mind? $300. $300, $100. What else? Anyone?
Anything below 300.
Anything below 300. What about a big order?
2K.
2K?
A kitchen.
Kitchen? 700 and up. Okay, the first step is to reframe your perception of what a small order is. I'm going to write that down. Reframe your perception of what a small order is. Now, I know this is hard for some of you that haven't had a lot of huge orders. You know, it's easy for someone that's done it a couple times. But just to understand, the way that I help people that have never done it before understand is to look at other things people spend money on. For example, I don't care where you sell at. They own a refrigerator. That fridge costs at least $1,000. They own a dishwasher. That costs at least how much? $1,000. Washer and dryer. If you buy a cheap, used, gonna break, halfway broken already washer and dryer, you're gonna spend $1,000 for the combo, right? Or more. If you go to a little bit nicer home, you might find a $2,000 fridge. You might find a $4,000 fridge if you go to a really nice home, right? How about a television? How many houses you go to that are like, no, we don't have a TV, we can't afford it? No, how many of them have a car? How many of them have a car that's worth more than $5,000? Raise your hand if you've ever, if everyone you've ever seen probably had a car worth more than at least $5,000. Raise your hand. All right. Everyone's starting to see where I'm going with this? Mm-hmm. Everyone you're seeing, I don't care if you're seeing rich people, poor people, people on welfare, people begging. They can afford Cutco if they want to afford Cutco, right? So that's the first thing. So reframe your perception of what a small order is. Because of this, $1,000 is actually a small order. Why? Because these people spend $1,000 on plenty of other things. I don't care who they are. They spend $1,000 on something. You know, who here spent more than $1,000 on tuition in school this semester? Maybe not from your pocket, but from someone's pocket. Some of you from your own. Right? $1,000. Whoever spent $1,000 into their car in some capacity. Whether it was all the gas you bought, breaking something, yeah. All right. Reframe your perception of what a small order is. So let's talk about why Cutco is worth $1,000. If you don't think about the knives for a second, and you think about how, if I just said to you, don't think about the knives, but every time, for $1,000, I can guarantee you that every time you set foot in a kitchen for the rest of your life, you'll get in and out with a lot less time. It'll be quicker, safer, more fun, more comfortable for the rest of your life, your kid's life, your family's life, your significant other's life, anyone around you in your family's life forever. Their life, their kid's life, forever. Who would spend that grand? Raise your hand. Yeah, it'd be worth it. That's what we're selling. All right? How many companies do you know that have a warranty that somebody can use their stuff every single day for 30 years, day in, day out, beat the living hell out of them, mail them in, and what do? We spend our money as a company sending them a brand new one. That's pretty freaking ridiculous, isn't it? And if they break that one, what are we going to do? We'll send them another brand new one. Yeah, and if they need sharpening, we'll send a college kid out to their house to sharpen their knives for them in their freaking house. Think about that. Is that service or what? I mean, come on.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. Who's ever bought Oakley sunglasses? Raise your hand. I know I love Oakley, and the reason why is because even though I spend a little more on it, if I break it, what happens? I send it to Oakley, brand new sunglasses. Why buy another crappy pair? I just bought, $200 pair of Oakleys, and guess what happens? If I ever have anything, I send them in. I'll never buy another cheap $10 pair, $20 pair. Who cares if I break it, right? Everyone understand?
Mm-hmm.
Maui Gym, same way. There's other products that are like that. There's not very many, but there's a couple others. And once you realize how unique that is and how damn special that is, right? Your customers will start to see that it's worth the money to spend there. Anyone here a homeowner right now? Okay. Anyone here spend money on their home in some capacity at least? Buying? Anyone here ever had the experience going out and just doing things like simple, like when you leave your family's house, buying things like toiletries and cleaning supplies and all the things you never really thought about? Yeah, that adds up, right? Who's ever had to fix something that broke around the house? Yeah, things, and they cost how much? Plenty of money. My parents just had to dig out this and fix this sink and fix this bathroom, and things happen when you own a home, right? So reframing your perception is a small order. These people spend $1,000 on other things. $5,000 is not a lot if you can tell a homeowner that, hey, for the rest of your life, that room's just checked off. Checked off your to-do list for life. Don't even think about the kitchen, ever. Done. Every single utensil, every gadget, every piece of flatware, every piece of cookware, everything, everything, everything. Don't worry about it. It's going to be the best. Forever. We worry about it for you, right? Because we have a warranty. Everyone understand that? With all the things people spend money on, think about the average kitchen. In the course of 10 to 15 years, they're going to spend $1,000 on a new dishwasher, $1,000 on a new fridge. What else? In the course of a cooking lifetime, which is, let's say, 30 years, 40 years at least. Who thinks that even your poorest customer probably redoes their kitchen within 30 years? Raise your hand. How much does that cost? If they do it themselves, okay, with aluminum foil, it'll cost them at least $1,000. Okay? All right? Tens of thousands of dollars. So understand that even if they tell you they can't afford it, guys, it's what? It's BS. They're lying to you. They might not see it yet, but they're lying to you. So I want to go off on this and just show you a quick example. A $5,000 order, let's just say. Sounds like a lot, right? That's $1,080 a month times 5 months, right? Over the course of 20 years, though, that order comes out to $250 a year, which is about $21 a month, which is $5 a week. Anyone here smoke cigarettes? Raise your hand. You don't have to if you don't want to, but it's just one example. You spend $5 a week on cigarettes? More, right? But at least, right?
Yeah.
Who here spends $5 a week on something? All right. Everyone, right? This is why somebody begging behind the Jaguars stadium could buy a 5K order if they really worked for it every single day. Now, granted, they're probably not that committed, but they could. Everyone understand? All right, let's keep going with this. Now, that's just if they use it for 40 years. How many people have met someone that owned Cutco for more than 30 years, 20 years?
50.
All right, 40 years. Let's go with. 40 years is $125 a year, which is $10 a month, about $250 a week. Who here could spend $250 a week on something? Raise your hand. Who buys gum? Okay. Who buys at least one bag of chips, a candy bar, something at the gas station?
Oh, yeah.
Who loses at least $2.50 worth of change?
Oh my god.
Awesome. Mrs. Jones, if you just save all your change in a jar, you can buy a whole Cutco kitchen. Just do it. You don't have to save all of it. Just save $2.50 every week. $2.50. All right? You want to write it down per day? Well, that's 35 cents a day. This is why somebody begging behind the stadium could buy a Cutco kitchen. Everyone see me? Now, granted, they might not have the available credit to put down a down payment, but guess who does? A Mac. They own a home. They have a line of credit that's worth at least what their house is, right? Well, I don't know about you, but how many of you have seen someone in less than a $5,000 house? Nobody, right? They have at least like what? The worst house is probably $60,000 that anyone in here has probably been, right? And that would be like probably on the maybe I'm wrong, but somewhere around there, right? Think about that. That means that they have a credit limit that's a lot higher, meaning that they can afford to swing this into their budget. They could put $1,000 on their credit card. If you're seeing the average married over 30 homeowner in Jacksonville area, they can put $1,000 on a credit card if they really want to. I could put $1,000 on my credit card. I'm 21. How much I make is not how much someone makes has nothing to do with what kind of credit limit they get. It's how much credit they build, right? Well, how long do you think I've had to build credit? Not very long, but I can put $1,000 on my credit card and still clear all my expenses any month, and that's without a home. Imagine what my dad could do, and he's not even rich. You know, imagine what my uncle or your dad or your mom could do, right? Everyone understand? Yes or yes?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. You guys want to keep going with these examples, or do you guys follow me? Just really quickly though, let's break it down. Okay, so 5K sounds like a lot, and we could do this. You guys can do this more yourself, but just to give you an example, $2,500 order over 20 years, right? It's $10 a month, $250 a week, over 40 years is what? $5 a month. You guys get the point? You see why everyone should own an Ultimate or more? Yep. All right. Who's just on Ultimate this week? Raise your hand. All right. So, step number one is reframe your perception of what a small order is. Number two is a power intro. Why? Because they don't get this yet. Right? This is where you do two things. You share your goals, and you just drop a seed for a big order. Now, this could take a little bit of confidence. All right, but I promise you, if you just see everything I just went through, that's all the confidence you should need to be able to build up an expectation for a bigger order, right? You might not have done it, but who here's seen the sales report? Who here's seen that someone else has sold $1,000 on a demo? Everyone here, all right? Who here's seen someone that you think you might at least be as smart as sell $1,000? Perfect. So all of you guys can do it. You just gotta set your mind to it, right? So, power intro. Here's my power intro. I'll share my goals. Mrs. Jones, basically one of my goals this year is to sell, $150,000. And just to give you an idea, only a handful of people do it in the company. Now that might not mean a whole lot to you, but my customers have actually been helping me. This is why you guys are gonna like. My customers have actually been helping me out by placing orders for basic kitchen packages, sets for their kids, gift sets. Some of them even get sets for their businesses, for business gifts, cookware, flatware, just anything that helps them complete that whole room of their kitchen. And I've been helping them out by getting them the very best deal I possibly can so they can check their kitchen off the list of rooms they ever need to put money into again. Say that one more time. Ms. Jones, my goal is to do blank this year. And that might not mean a lot to you, it just means I'm working really hard, and my customers have actually been helping me out a lot by placing orders for, and here's where you're planting the seeds, placing orders for basic kitchen packages, sets for kids, business gifts, sets of cookware, flatware, just anything that can help them check the kitchen off of their, list of rooms in the house they ever need to put money into again, as a homeowner. The course of their whole lifetime, right? And so you're just planting that seed. And so, Ms. Jones, here's the part, some of you guys, when I say this, you're going to be like, what? He says this? Promise you, just get some confidence, say this to him. There's two ways you can take it. I'll show you in a second. It's basically, you want to say, Ms. Jones, now I realize you probably don't. Most people I see don't have a couple $1,000s, laying under the pillow, waiting for the knife guy to come over. Or most people don't have a couple $1,000s, in a hole, dug in a hole in the backyard, just waiting for some knife guy to come over. Right? But I will tell you, a lot of people really love this stuff. We have some awesome payment plans to make things affordable. We have all different types of packages. And so I'm just going to show you all the different packages we have and how they work out. Show you all the different packages we have, and we'll just see, if any of them make sense or fit for you. So, say that one more time because I know it's a little bit choppy, right? Something along the lines of Mrs. Jones. So basically, I know you probably don't have a couple $1,000s waiting, sitting under the pillow waiting for the knife guy to come over, but a lot of our customers really love this stuff. I can help them save a lot of money in the long run. And so we have all different types of packages, and I'm just going to show you all the different packages and see if any of them see which one of them makes the best fit for you, or see if any of them are a great fit for you and your family. And you can even take it as far as hand them a sheet of paper and, hey, Mr. Jones, what we're going to do is we're going to make a little wish list. I'm not going to make you buy this stuff right now or any of this. It's not stuff I'm going to make you buy if you write it down right now. But anything that you think you see that you might like at all, or might like as something or might like to get for free, or might like as a gift, or might like to give as a gift, just go ahead and jot it down. Right? Here's the key: have and this is something that even you guys have been around for a while have probably never heard, have them write their own wish list.
Ooh.
Why? Because now they're in control of the wish list. But here's the key. You persuade them to put things on their wish list. Like when I go over the term, Miss Jones, it's awesome, it's good for this, this, and this. Go ahead and throw that on your wish list. If they don't write, let Miss Jones write that down on your wish list. You know, something I learned from Curtis J. Hughes, and he's got, you know, about $1,000 average order. And you think about it, it's like because, and it's easy to say that to someone when you know that they really should, right? Who's ever had a friend and you're like, you have to come out with us tonight, no, not taking no for an answer, you got to come out, or you have to see this movie. Like, I don't care if you want to see it or not, you have to see it, or you have to read this book, right? Who's ever persuaded a friend to do something they didn't want to do? Because you knew they should, and in the end they were happy, right? That's the same way you have to look at selling Cutco. Miss Jones, throw that trimmer on your wish. Miss Jones, I promise you, who's not going to like a trimmer? Okay, let's be honest. Right? Who's not going to like a set of Cutco? Who's not going to like it? Nobody's not going to like it. Right? So you have that little bit, you know, you're a little bit more assertive. So, power intro, and then one last thing that I like to throw in there is, so Miss Jones, basically we have all these packages, all these different deals. Just so you know, a lot of our best specials start at about $2,000. A lot of our best specials start at about $2,000. Some of you are like, I would never say it to my customers. I hear you're saying in your head right now. Here's what you say. If they either look at you straight, you go, okay. Or they look at you funny, and you go, I'm just kidding. But you make a mental note of it, and now you know you need to build a lot of value in that demo. Right? Because if you go $2,000, they go, what? You're like, all right, I got about 30 minutes to change that what into a positive what, you know? And then they're like, what? It's only $1,000, you know? That's what you're trying to do. Yeah. Cool? So, power intro. You've got to plant that seed though, and here's why. If you want to have the chance at having a big order, you have to stretch their thinking of what a big order could be. So most of our customers, Ms. Jones, most of our best deals start about $2,500. And you smile. Just like, oh, Ms. Jones. I mean, you know, this isn't Walmart. Right? And even if they don't say they're going to buy it, the bottom line is, like, you're making them think a little bit bigger, so the whole demo you have room to play with, like, their expectation. Does that make sense? I promise you, some of you are looking at me like, that's crazy, I would never say that. Just try it. Even if you've never sold a $200 order, go try this. I promise you, you will have a bigger average order. The worst thing that will happen is you'll get another $200 order. You know? Yeah. Those of you that haven't had a $1,000 order, it's not going to make you not sell $1,000. Put it that way. All right? So, number three is to overbuild value. Say it one more time. Overbuild value. What do I mean by that? I mean build so much value, it's like beating through their head where they want to stop you and be like, Aaron, okay, I get it. It's going to last me forever. All right? How do you do this? Testimonials, happy customer list, anywhere that you could have other people showing them they have Cutco. So, I have a happy customer list in my blue book. It's about 20 pages long. And I have everyone's had it for more than 30 years highlighted. And I'm like, okay, Ms. Jones, before I show you this stuff, let me just give you an idea of why I'm here to show you Cutco, why our friend Susie got a set. Basically, this isn't some like random product, a fly-by-night company who've been around for 60 years. These are some people I've met that own Cutco and what they think about it. This person's had it for 25 years, 25, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, 60 years, 55 years, 47 years. Oh, next page, 37, 37, 38, 45. You know? Next page, and I do for like 20 pages, and they're like, okay, I get it. Right? Telling third-person stories. When you're going over at night, the best way to tell them a story, any of the info in your book, if you can relay it through a story, a million times more effective. Now, not a long, drawn-out story that's not planned. It's something as simple as, Mrs. Jones, the next 200 set is your spatula spreader. And your friend Susie, she loves the spatula spreader. And the reason why is because she always makes Rice Krispie treats for her family, and it's great for this, this, and this. It's always using someone else. You can use your mom, you can use your sister, you can use your brother, use somebody, right? The next thing you're going to love about your set is the thermoresin handle. One of the reasons my mom loves it is because she hates having to hand wash stuff. She throws in the dishwasher. The old knives, you know, my dad yelled at her every single time because she kept throwing in the dishwasher. You can get these stories from your customers if you just listen and write them down. I've had a million customers tell me that their husband yells at them for throwing things in the dishwasher, doing that, or doing this, but half the time you just sort of listen to it, whatever. Just take it down, like write down the story and use it. It's that simple. Use somebody else to tell what you're telling. All right? Miss Jones, it's, you know, the handle will fit your hand perfectly. Mrs. Jones, this person loves it because it fits her hand perfectly. Cool? Overbuilding value. The next way to overbuild value is to use a phrase that I use probably 15 times in an appointment, at least. It's for the next 30, 40, 50 years. For the next 30, 40, 50 years, the next 30, 40, 50 years, the next 30, 40, 50 years. So Ms. Jones, one of the things you're going to love about having your set of Cutco for the next 30, 40, 50 years is this, this, and this. the first thing you're going to love about your set of Cutco is the universal wedge lock handle. And what you'll love about this handle is every time you go to grab it for the next 30, 40, 50 years, it'll fit your hand perfectly. It'll feel just like that. How's it feel? That feels great. Would that feel nice 30 years from now? Yep. Awesome.
Yep.
How about 60 years from now? Yep. Perfect. In fact, this lady bought her knife 60 years ago and showed him a testimonial. Can you imagine what it'd be like the day that I put it in her hand, someone put it in her hand and said, how's it going to feel in 60 years? And then 60 years later, she's like, I actually have it. Can you imagine how that would feel, Mrs. Jones? Yeah, I can. You guys understand? Overbuild the value. Beat value through their head. I want them to stop my demo and say, Aaron, I get it, just sell me some stuff. Like, that's the goal. Is value, value, value. 30, 40, 50 years. 30, 40, 50 years. Next thing you'll love about the next 30, 40, 50 years. Next thing you'll love about it is that when this Cutco is your daughter's set, you know, and your grandkids are using it with her in the kitchen, this, and this, and this. Anything in your book, you can constantly add a little bit more into the phrase to do what with the value? Not just build it.
Overbuild.
Overbuild it. Okay. Number 4. Oh, wait, I got to give you one more thing with overbuilding value. One more thing. After the forever guarantee, the best question in the world. You go through all the parts of the guarantee before you flip the page. Mrs. Jones, let me ask you a question. Is there anything in your house that you use every day that you don't have to replace, you don't ever pay to maintain it, and it'll always be the best forever? Say it one more time.
Yeah.
Is there anything in your house that you use every single day that you don't have to replace, you don't pay to maintain it, it'll always be the best forever? I love this. This is the look I give them.
One more time.
They go, no. Is there anything in your house that you use every day, you never have to pay to you don't have to pay, you don't have to replace it, you don't have to pay to maintain it, and it'll always stay the best forever? And they'll always be like, no, and I'm like, no. Well, Cindy, if I do my job right, hopefully you'll be able to say yes to that someday. Right? That simple. And you sort of laugh about it. The guy's cheesy, but like they know you're there trying to sell them stuff. I mean, let's be honest. They didn't invite you over thinking you weren't going to, right? Especially by that part of the demo. They already know you're at least trying. Everyone with me? So, and it's kind of corny, but it's kind of funny, right? So, Ms. Chisel, hey, if I do my job right, I'll be able to say yes to that someday. So, alright. You guys like that question?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing, by the way, you can throw in there is when they have knives that they have other knives, ask them how long they've had those for. Like, if you ever get the person that's like, oh, well, I have Henkels. Okay, how long have you had your Henkels for? Very rarely will they have it forever. If they've had it for a long time, like 15 or 20 years, you're like, oh, Miss Jones, it's the perfect timing for Cutco because Henkels definitely doesn't last more than 20 years. You're going to end up buying a new set in the next year or two if you want them sharp. How can you tell if they think they're sharp? Pull out the rope. Miss Jones, they are not sharp. They don't cut. What does a car do? You want it to turn on and drive. If you sat down your car and you stuck your key in the ignition and you turned it and it clicked, nothing happened, and you turned it and turned it and turned it and you turned it 30 times and then it started, would you say it's fine? No, you'd go get it fixed, right? Well, how come you could sit there and make 35 strokes, 60 strokes with not just 60 strokes, but 60 strokes with a $150 knife, and then we come out with a knife and it cuts it in one? You guys follow me on that? Call them out on it. If they say that it's not true, guys, you can be assertive. Like, if you're backed up with the product, you can stand your ground. It's basically what I'm trying to get out of this whole talk, is you can stand your ground because the product speaks for itself. If they go, oh, I like my knives, Miss Jones, do you really like your knives? Like, let's cut this again. Grab something. Grab whatever you like to cut. Let's cut something. Cut it with this. Cut it with that. Let's try one more time. Cut it with this. Like, something's wrong if you don't get it. Because I know that this makes more sense. Everyone understand? You know, so constantly cutting more stuff until they realize that their knives do suck, our knives are worth it, and that they should spend their money with me. We're going to keep cutting stuff. Okay? So, number 4 is upsell like McDonald's. Upsell like McDonald's. What do I mean by that? Would you like fries with that? Would you like to add on an apple pie for $2? Would you like to upsize it for 50 cents? Would you like to do this for this? Right? This is how Adrian, if you look at the National Sales Report, sold 45 grand last week. Because he sells in packages. So, just to give you an example, I'm not going to spend a lot of time breaking this up because I know some of you aren't going to do this. Most of you aren't going to do this. But for those of you that might do it, here's the anatomy of a $5,000 order. how he breaks it up in packages. It's a Cutco. It's either a complete set, which is an ultimate, or a signature set, right? That's not that big. $1,500. Let's break it down over the years. All right. I don't care what you used to think a $1,000 order was, but everyone here think that if you show this to a customer, they could be like, okay, $1,000 order is not that much. Everyone see how this can help them if they break it down like this? Mm-hmm. Cool. So let's talk about a $1,500 order, a signature set. If I break it down over 10 years, it's $150 a year. That's $10 a month. That's just 10 years. I've met plenty of people that had Cutco for 10 years, right? I've been in Cutco for almost 5 years now. I can't believe it. I'm like halfway to that, right? So if you think about that, you realize the signature set, pretty easy if you can push for it. So let's say you get close on a signature set. Okay, Mrs. Jones, you want to go ahead and complete your set. Like, what does that mean? Basically, most people add on 10 sets of our traditional flatware with it. Why? Well, basically because they can guarantee that all the flatware in their kitchen is the same warrant. Guys, the same reason you push for the knives. If they ever break, they mail them and they get new stuff. Forever. On all their flatware. Who's ever dropped a spoon in the garbage disposal? Or fork? Mr. Jones, you ever drop a spoon or a fork in the garbage disposal? Yeah, what happens? You get a nick on it, and you cut your lip every time you eat cereal, right? Yeah. Mr. Jones, the only flatware in the world, you can just send it back, brand new stuff. It's the only flatware in the world that your kids can beat the hell out of, throw it in the sandbox, do whatever, and then you can mail it in, and they'll just send you brand new stuff. It's the only flatware in the world that if you buy it now, and you only use it for the next 20 years, this is good for your 40 to 60-year-old market, you only use it for the next 20 years, if you send it back in, get it refurbished, your daughter is what, 7 right now? She'll be 27, which is about what age? Marriage age, maybe a little bit older. You can send it in, get it refurbished, give it to her, she'll use it for her whole life, remember you forever, and maybe your granddaughter or grandkids can have it someday. Oh, and by the way, over just 20 years, if you didn't give it to them and it didn't go down generation to generation, the $1,000 set of flatware is, over 20 years, how much? $50 a year. Is that right? Which is how much per month? $4 a month. Yeah. It is affordable for every single person, right? So you're pushing and you're explaining that. It's like, okay, you add on the flatware, but you don't just add on the flatware. You add on the flatware of 2 six-piece serving sets. Why? Because now all the utensils are done. If you had just one, every once in a while you might have people over and you have like 2 bowls of something, you need 2 spoons, right? So you got 2 sets, your kitchen drawer is completed basically, right? Think about this, with all the money people spend in their house for like $2 grand to have their whole kitchen drawer, kitchen whatever, 2,500, something like that, to be like done, checked off a list for now, for 10 years from now, for 30 years from now, pretty sweet value even in a crappy home, right? The next step is adding on the 60-piece flatware chest. All right, which is a chest with all the flatware. Why? Because same concept. It's only $1,000. It's $4 a month. You could spend $1 a week on plasticware, right? But you might as well get everything now. Every piece of flatware for your nice and your everyday stuff, totally done forever. Next step is add on all the gadgets. Basically, if you sold everything in there, all the gadgets, all the accessories like the ice cream scoop, pizza cutter, all that. Think about this. Who here? Just picture this. Better way to put it. If you went into a house and you traded your sample kit for everything in their drawers, everything, all the junk, all the clutter, and you dumped in your kit, what would your kit look like? Crap, right? How would you feel about your kit? Not good. How would it feel if you were the customer and you could dump all of that, or even better, donate all of that, and just have like this package? It's every gadget, every knife, every piece of flatware, every utensil, and it all matches and looks great and is in perfect shape, and if anything happens, you mail it in, it's perfect shape forever. And they clear all the clutter. They got 1 pizza cutter, 1 garlic press, 1 scoop. All the drawers are clean. Who here thinks most of your customers would feel pretty good about that? Everyone understand? That's how you package it. That's how you sell it. That's how you explain it to these people. Is that's what you're doing. You're clearing out their clutter. And the best way to get them on it, tell them to donate all that stuff. Picture that all that stuff being dumped in your sample kit and you swapping with them, right? And how crappy yours would look. Think about it. Like, express that to them. Mr. Jones, you've got all this stuff everywhere. You can have 1 scoop, 1 peeler, 1 press. It does not take up your whole drawer. You have like 6 empty drawers in your kitchen, right? And you have everything you ever need. The 6-piece kitchen tools, all that stuff. Right there, guys, that's like $3,500 worth. There's nothing for free, there's nothing else. Who do you think has been a good value from everything I've explained so far? Right? The next thing is selling gifts. That's my last step, by the way, number 5, is sell gifts. Even if they don't want knives for themselves, every single person you see you can sell gifts to. And the reason why is every homeowner gives gifts to somebody throughout the course of the year. I don't want them to spend extra money, I want them to redirect it. Here's why. Who here, raise your hand if you can remember what you got for the holidays 2 years ago. Nobody. Why? Even if you begged for it, you still probably don't remember, right? If you ask your customers this, they won't know. If they do know, ask them 3 years, 4 years until they don't know. Right, Mrs. Jones? So you don't know what you got 2 years ago, but you've had Cutco for 6 years, or even better, your friend Susie's had Cutco for 10 years, or this random lady, do you know Mary in Lake Mary? No, well, she's had Cutco for 30 years. Somebody. Okay, show them to somebody. Had Cutco for 30 years. How often do you think she cuts something? Like, oh, well, every day. Exactly, Mrs. Jones. So you think if she got it as a gift and used it every day for 30 years, that would probably be the best gift she ever got? Right? And you smile. Don't you think that's probably the best gift she ever got? My mom got Cutco 31 years ago. 31 years ago. She used it every day for 31 years. Every time she used it, who do you think she remembers? The person who gave it to her. Every single day. Even if she doesn't use it, if she walks past the kitchen and sees the block on the counter, gotta at least think about it for a second. Right? And so once you explain that to your customers, they can see that, hey, you might not have thought about giving knives. They won't ask you for knives, by the way, but they will have them and use them and remember that you gave them to them more than anything else you could spend your money on. And I firmly believe that. I believe that if they're going to buy gifts this year, they really should buy them through me. I believe it, 100%. I think it's a waste of their money to buy something else. Why? Because I don't care how nice of a gesture it was, how much they wanted the new shirt, the new whatever, where's it going to be in 2 years? Gone. Cutco will be there. I'd rather give them a gift that I know, even if they don't know it yet, in the end they'll be happier with, right? So explain to them, Ms. Jones, how many people do you know that would appreciate Cutco? Or how popular would you be in your circle if you gave all your girlfriends Cutco? How popular would you be in your circle if you gave all your girlfriends Cutco? How many people do you know that would appreciate Cutco? Here's what we're going to do, Mrs. Jones. This is not a question, this is not whatever, this is like, here's what we're going to do. You don't have to be, I know I'm coming off a little bit brash. It can be really laid back, Ms. Jones. Hey, really quickly before we go, here's what we're going to do. I want you to grab a sheet of paper. Grab a sheet of paper. We're just going to jot down everybody that you buy gifts for, really quickly, and how we know them. Everybody, like my sister Susie, this person, all the, if they say my sister, ask for her name. Like you want the names of everybody, right? You have it on a sheet. And here's why. They shouldn't just buy gifts because they're good. They should buy gifts because I can save them a ton of money. If they're going to, let's say there's 4 people they're going to buy a $100 gift for this year. Whether it's 1 birthday and 1 anniversary or 2 for Christmas or whatever it is, right? They're going to spend, even the poorest people might spend $100 on poor people's gifts, right? Well, if they spend all that time thinking about what to buy, deciding which gift to get them, running around and actually wasting the time going to store and getting them, 4 different stores, what do they spend? $400. And all that, and time and frustration and thinking about stuff and trying to pick what to get. But if, while I'm going to be in their kitchen with them for another 15, 20 minutes anyways, maybe tack on 5 minutes to that, and not only will it save them all that time and energy, it'll save them money, because let's say they buy 4 gifts, they might only pay $300 because I give them 1 of them for free. Everyone follow me? Now I can save people a lot of money that they're going to spend on something anyways. Right? So, and get them a better value for their money. Everyone understand that? So I want to explain this to the customer. So what we're going to do is we're going to jot down everyone you know that you buy gifts for throughout the course of the year. I don't care if it's January. You can start selling Christmas gifts. Promise you. Sounds crazy, but right now, guess what it is? It's October. It's like the perfect time. We're about to be October. Right? Perfect time. Now it's the end of the year. Crank gifts. You should be selling $1,000 or more on gifts every single week. Right? There's some people that will not buy 1 knife for themselves, but they will buy 5 gifts from you because they're going to buy them from someone else anyways. You just got to push for it. I don't give knives. By the way, have you ever heard the superstition, I don't give knives? Really simple. This Jones, all you do is they give you a penny. Done. Give you a better gift as a trade. I know it sounds crazy. Some of you don't know what I'm talking about. Some of you might hear that. I've heard that. That's like a real objection they try to throw at me. Like, are you kidding me? You're going to do it over superstition? Have them give you a damn penny. Would you rather give them a knitted sweater? Like, get a penny from them, get whatever, but, you know, whatever it is to not make you superstitious, they should have Cutco as a gift. Okay? So you're addressing the gift budget, basically. You're telling them, I know you spend money on gifts. Let me help you save money. You're going to help me. I'm going to help you. It'll be easy. It'll be quick. I'm going to save you time. I'm going to be here anyways. You can either be annoyed by me or let me help you. Right? Let's be honest. All right? So, write down everyone. Now, the next step is to write down how much they spent on each person. Hey, just like a ballpark, like about what you spent on each person's gift. Also, make sure you're asking, is there anyone you know getting married in the next 6 months? Is there anyone getting married in the next 6 months? Is there anyone that has a birthday in the next 6 months? Why? Because are we really going to touch base in 2 months when it's Susie's birthday? Let's be honest. I mean, we're busy people. I'll even joke with them. If I've called them 16 times to get the demo, Mr. Jones, let's be honest, I called you 16 times to get this appointment, and you know it. Like, are we really going to link up in 3 months for birthday? Not only that, but let's leverage. Like, they're already spending money. Let's leverage that money they're already spending to help them get a better deal, right? If they buy $100 from you, how much money do they save in Cutco? Usually
20 to
not
30
anything. Maybe one free thing. Maybe, right? If they buy $5,000, they probably have like $700 worth of free stuff, right? It's gonna get them. It's like Sam's Club, basically, applied to gifts, right? You guys understand what I'm saying? You're packaging every gift you can together, and then putting on a 5-page so that you can squeeze it into the budget. So they jot down everyone. Okay, $100 gifts, $150 gifts. If they have some low ones like $20 and $20, hey, Mr. Jones, honestly, these people we probably won't have anything for. You might just have to cross them off. We might get you something for free, but we probably won't. Just be honest. But let me show you what's in these price ranges. Really simple, guys. If you want price ranges, $75 range, cheese knife. Cheese knife's really simple. $100 range. You want to get them, by the way, the most simple, useful, everyday stuff. I don't care if they're a gourmet chef. I'd rather get them a trimmer and a spatula spreader. Why? Because they'll use it a lot more than a boning knife. Especially because if they get a really nice boning knife and it's the sharpest knife they own, they're going to use it for everything. So you want to, if they're trying too hard to think of which gifts and whatnot, you just want to sell them on, hey, right? $100, deli mates, a club mate, something simple. Everyone understand? $150. The most, anything that has the most basic homemaker tools in it, and like a little gift sets, that's what you want to be selling. Cool? So selling gifts. And then the last thing I want to throw in there, guys, is sort of like a bonus. It's like a number 6, I guess, even though there's only 5 keys. Is to handle objections. Everything I just went over with you, everyone understands pretty well, right? Yes or yes?
Yes.
Okay. So you might not have to say it the same way I did, but if you can internalize what you just got, and if you need to look over your notes again sometime, another day, before your next demo, do it. But internalize what I just said, because if you, I'm a big believer, it's sort of like, in Cutco, a lot of times we teach you lines and things to say, and that's good and all, because sometimes you don't know how to phrase it. But really, if you have it in here, like nobody taught you what to say to your friend when you want them to go to a movie. Nobody taught you what to say to your friend when you want them to read the book. You just like spilled it out, right? If you could take everything I just showed you and really believe in it and realize like this does make sense, even if they don't know that spending $3,500 on Cutco makes sense for them, I know that if they sign this order form, in 6 months to a year, they're going to be happier than I am. Period. So that's my goal, is to really do this to help them see that and to show them in any possible way I can. By showing them testimonials, by changing the way I think about what a big order is. Because let's be honest, if I thought $700 was a big order and I sold it to them, and I sold it to them again in 3 or 4 or 5 years, like some reps do, and they sell them a couple orders over a 10-year career with Cutco, let's just say. Well, what would have happened if I just sold them all of it the first time? They would have saved a ton of money, and they wouldn't have waited 7 years to have everything. Right? They could have cooked a lot better in the beginning. So, reframing the perception, having a really powerful intro where you set the stage for a really high average order, overbuilding the value where you're beating it through your head, you're saying over and over again, yes, this is a good decision, basically. While they're weighing it in their head, you're basically saying, yes, this is worth the money, yes, this is worth the money, yes, this is worth the money, right? 30, 40, 50 years, it's worth the money, 30, 40, 50 years. What's it saying in their head? It's worth the money. Number 4 is upsell like McDonald's, and the last one is sell a ton of gifts. So other than that, guys, those are the keys to putting your average order on steroids. Thanks.
Wow, Aaron, that was awesome.